carbon freeze, and that's the amount of carbon footprint we are generating. Not only that, is it just a problem of sustainability? No. The profitability of the industry, this is McKinsey's 2021 numbers. The profitability of the industry has been declining globally, right? And the deep decline is because of COVID. It is recovering, but what is concerning is still the trend. The trend is declining. So we have a declining profit and we have a huge sustainability problem. Is it across one segment, a value business? Is it across standard business or luxury business? It is across all businesses. Except luxury, which is around double-digit profit, rest of the industry is hovering around single-digit EBITDA. So overall, we have a double-sided problem. Huge amount of wastage impacting the planet, huge amount of wastage impacting profitability. How many of us really want to impact both profit and sustainability for the industry we are working in? You can be in any part of the value chain. Do not worry. You may be in the fabric business, you may be in the garment business, you may be in the retail business or brand business. Each one of us can equally contribute, and we'll see how. Now the question is, what are the various solutions to solve this problem? So I'm evaluating few options and let's see. Option number one, if we made only for every customer, we make only one product what they want, will there ever be waste? What you want is made instantly. Imagine you go to a shop, it's like fast food, I can make for one person, will there be waste? No. So that's one solution. Make for one as a solution. Now, is this scalable? It has scale challenges. Today, there is no technology, including 3D printing, which can solve all problems. It can make some products, you can't make all products. So it has long wait times as we speak. So can this be used by brands and retailers? Yes, we can all use this for read and react. You can test something, but can you solve the entire consumption? No, you can't. So yes, to some extent, this can solve the problem, but not at scale. Solution number two. Now, how many of us have seen people actually buy clothes just to post in Instagram and Facebook? They want to look good. A lot of us have seen, in fact, the research has been done, a significant amount of clothing is purchased just to look good in digitally. Now, for that, do we really need to have physical product? We don't need. We can actually have a digital product created. That's why NFTs are growing. An NFT business last year, one quarter alone is $10 billion. And it is growing significantly. For digital product itself in fashion is going to be in trend and it's going to grow. For just you don't need to even make a jean. Maybe a jean made just digitally will also give you business in the time to come. For gaming and fashion is merging. A lot of people in the gaming industry are entering fashion, and I've seen many of them right now in Europe who are actually doing fashion business, who have never done fashion before. For your competition is not from fashion, your competition is going to be coming from gaming. Just mind that. So, does this also solve the full problem? No. It solves a part of the problem. For what is the next? How many of us really forecast in our business? You forecast fabric, you forecast trends, forecast color. Can you please raise your hands? Yeah? Okay. Now, this is going to be there for time to come till we solve the mass customization and other issues, right? So that's a problem that let's look at, which is the current method is very slow and subjective. Consumer demand is changing so fast. Our current forecasting are still seasonal. Are we hearing this word spring, summer, autumn, winter? Consumer is not looking at any of these words. I want something right now. Do you have the right stuff? For industry is talking season, consumer does not have season. We need to move from this language of season. Right? It's unreliable because you think season, you work 12, you means me inclusive, I'm from the industry. 12 months ahead we are planning, consumer is reacting almost real time. It's very unresponsive, it's ineffective, we can see the amount of wastage, it's unscalable, right? It's very expensive. Expensive not because of the forecast report cost, the total cost of these forecasts not working. For we think therefore we need to go to a different way, and this is the biggest elephant in the room. We are used to working in some way. For here is a time for us to reinvent. Now, how do we address this elephant? The transformation is to put consumer at the center. How do we do that? Fundamentally change the mindset from we as a brand, we will tell what customers want. Rather, customers tell you what you should make. a reverse of how the business is working. A business model called C to B, not B to C anymore. Now, how do you do that? And that's very difficult, right? How do you understand millions of consumers all the time? Unforecast is the future, not forecast. If you forecast, we will have so much of wastage. For lesser forecast, more unforecast. Now, I'll just explain how one can do that. It has to be dynamic, not static. It has to be real time. It has to be moving. It has to be scalable. You can't have forecast reports sitting on your table on which you are going to place millions of dollars a bet. That's going to fade and it's going to cost all of us a lot of money. It's not economic, and it will be economical and it will be effective. Let's look at how do we do that. Now, this is the problem we have been trying to solve since 2016. How do we listen to the consumer on an ongoing basis, right? And is this something that we are saying? Gartner is saying, and Gartner is world's leading technology, advisory company. And Gartner is saying every retailer or brand today is looking at truth about customers. They are discovering truth, and they have a lot of assumptions. The more the truth and assumptions come together, huge business value. So do we really want to increase the truth about the customer? Hence, we need to find a lot of truth about customers. How do you find truth about the customers? This is how category management as per Gartner is happening by most of. We start with saying that, oh, let's make jeans so much, trousers so much, shirts so much, all of that, right? It's a category way of thinking. My assortment mix and let me deliver to the consumer. We do planning, we do pricing, all of that. It's a linear way of thinking. And the future is all these functions working with consumer at the center. Very easy to say, but difficult to do. Now, which is to say, design things with customer at the center, planning things with customer at the center, pricing is also done customer at the center. Now, it's a circular way of managing the business from a linear way. Now, that's something that what we enable at Stylumia. How do we do that? We need to do consumer research at internet scale. We collect data at internet scale across the internet from luxury to value, any country, any brand, any category. And we use an AI engine. What it does is, like Google ranks pages, our engine ranks products, which means say which product consumer like the most, which product consumer like the least. It's happening real time across the world. We have, as we speak, over 3 billion product impressions being ranked by the Stylumia technology. We spot real-time, true consumer trends across the market and across. Therefore, sitting on your desk, you can actually analyze the whole world. You can travel to Spain and find out what people like in Massimo Dutti, what people like in G-Star in Netherlands, right? What people like in Veramoda in any other country for that matter. We give this to product decision makers who could be designers, buyers, merchandisers, and as we speak, including retail merchandisers. And this is ongoing. And that's the engine which is powering brands and retailers today. And we work with over 100 brands across various countries to take informed consumer-driven decisions. Now, what is the impact? We have reduced over 30% of carbon footprint with our customers measured over a period of time, right? Now, we all think, I just wanted to share a research about Stanford University. We all think understanding consumer is easy, right? Today we do by traveling to market, visiting stores, visiting various areas, right? Now, our judgment always comes in between truth and what we think, right? And Stanford University did one research. That research was, they called a lot of people and split them into two groups. They said they split them into listeners and tappers. They asked the group of tappers, say, you think about a song, tap on the table what you're thinking. And we've all done that, right? Whenever we free time, we tap some song. And they were all tapping, and they asked the listeners, how many of you they were allowed to guess the song, and they asked them, how many of you think you guessed it right? Just guess how many of them told, what percentage of people would have said that they guessed it right? You're optimistic. 50%. 50% thought they guessed it right. Do you know the reality? 2.5%. What we think we know is actually far from reality. When we think that ये trend तो अभी rocking होने वाला है, because X said, Y said, Z said, right? Now, that reality is shocking, and this is true of any place. Therefore, we really need data, and the data showed that while you think 50%, you're only 2.5%. So, that makes us all having humility to look at, what is the real truth and how do we discover that. Now, how do we deliver that through a solution, which is a SaaS solution, which helps quickly, and it's very visual. You can go and research any market anytime in few clicks. You can go to Spain digitally, you can go to US digitally, London digitally, and find out. It's almost like you're on the Oxford Street and checking what is the consumer demand. Now, that's something that you can do in few clicks. Now, we wanted to also analyze, is this a better method than the current method? What is the current method? Tracking supply. Go and check what's happening in the industry. If everybody is doing red, let me also do red. If everybody is doing peplum, let me do peplum, right? Now, it's mini skirts trends across 2 seasons globally. If you followed supply, you would have made you can see the supply-demand gap across luxury and fashion. You would make 100% error. When supply declined by 41%, demand declined by 82%, right? In fast fashion, we saw supply decline by increase by 77, whereas demand increased by 133%. Now you can see that by using demand, you can be sharper and better. I'm not saying that we will solve the problem 100%, but we'll minimize the error. The same thing across another season, significant differences. And we also have capability of creating a design using advanced AI, right? Where, this is a tool which can actually create a dress from nowhere. You can just train it with a lot of dresses and it will create a dress. You train it with a lot of jeans, it will create a jeans. Digital. Therefore, you can create digital designs as an input into the creation process. So how can we enable creative people with more ideas? So that's the dress you're seeing on the screen is completely generated by the advanced generative adversarial networks. And this passes the Google image test. You can't find a similar dress in Google. So that tells you it's original. So you can create original products, but as an idea generation engine, certainly that. So let me just come back to the sustainability topic, right? We have reduced wastage of over 120 million products so far with our customers. That's equivalent of planting over 10 million trees, right? So it's a noble cause, and one company cannot do it. All of us need to collaborate and impact. And globally, if we do this at global scale, we can impact plant equivalent of 1.5 billion trees with the kind of impact that we are seeing at this level. Now, so far I've talked about what brands can do, what retailers can do, but I think I'm going to ask you all one question. How many of you have more than 100 products in whatever form, apparel, accessories, in your wardrobe? More than 100? Good amount. 50 to 100? Yes. Under 50? Under 25? Okay. I was one of those who had over 100 products some time back. And I thought that, let me ask you this question. How many of the products that you have, what percentage do you frequently use? Whenever I ask this question, I get 10 to 20%. Your hand goes to that white shirt. Your hand goes to that blue shirt which you like, right? All of us have that affinity. But just imagine, if only 20% of what we buy we really use, the industry is wasting a lot. And who's responsible? We as consumers. Under 25, you will always see me in this black t-shirt, right? That's my style. Therefore, you please choose to buy a black jacket. The first thing the salesperson asks, why do you want one more jacket? Which store will tell you this? And actually, I ended up buying one jacket and also some gloves. Okay? Somebody who was de-selling finally sold. If you truly believe that you can be sustainable, business will happen and you will get value in a different form. Now, I want to leave you with 2 hashtags, and this is the latest way to spread message. So one is, if you are an individual, you can look good with less. Starting today, if you go back, if you can reduce before purchase, think twice whether I really need it. Because eliminate wastage rather than recycle wastage, because that's the next stage. And the last one is, if you're a brand, if you're associated with a brand, you can ask to minimize paper, right? So you can please scan and contact if you want. And I'm going to leave you all with a goodie, which is, of course, a thought starter. We've written 52 thought starters. There's a 250 pages book on thoughts that we have put together, cutting across AI, fashion, technology, all coming together. You might find it useful. You can please scan that. Let's all reduce wastage and make a better planet. Thank you very much. Maybe time for one question if anybody has a question.
Questions?
Hi. You said 120 million garments, reduction in waste. How do you measure that waste? I mean, how is it really measured?
It's a good thing. And then what we ask them to do is use Stylumia and make some products. So when we say Stylumia means that this is not just a tool. It is human plus AI, right? We can only give information. Therefore, the team takes decision of using the solution and make some products. We track these products parallelly. Let's say both are made on tops, similar price point, same season. They go to the market and then see which one sells through well and which one is left with more and which one is left with less. And using that, we measure and say what percentage of inventory that we have saved. It's almost an A/B testing, like for like testing. And then we prove to them saying that if you can do like this, you're going to reduce so much of wastage. Not only just the wastage, business also improves. In fact, we have seen over 60% jump in sales because now you're making better products, relevant products. Not only reduction of wastage, also improvement in business. Both happens.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.